When we left off, we were getting ready to build one of these, and I think this template's going to work, get me started for it. So let's cut one of those now. Okay, let's cut some metal. Phone calls and interruptions. Like I said, if you see one of those laying around, old couch, this one here is was pretty rugged material. They work great. Throw them in a car when you got to sit in there, or put them on the floor when you got to kneel on them. They're great. All right, let's cut some. Actually, I'm going to take a little more off of that up here, just to true it up a little bit. Let's trim that up, then we'll start folding it over. Let's go see how that fits in there. Pretty tidy, not bad. Yeah, we can work with that. I'll have to piece a little piece in up here at the front corner, but yeah, we're gonna make that work. Get down here and look at it. Just look at it. We'll put some reverse curve right here. I like it to look like it. I like it to come up a little bit at the front. Use a little hammer on that. I'll put a few tacks on here. I don't want to go too far because I need to make sure this all flow together. Don't ever go too far. And you just got to cut a lot of stuff back that you spend a lot of time welding on. I'm going to go ahead and trim that back a little bit. That'll help me pull it in a little tighter. Got to swoop this way in it, and I want this to roll up a little bit, so this is still loose. I can flex on that a little bit and it all may get cut out, you know. It's just got to start somewhere. Let's see how that works. So now what we need to do is I think I did this in two pieces on the other side. Come in here and do the center section. So then we know how tall the door's got to be. Then we can build the bottom of the door and build the outer skin of the door. Like I said, tack everything once, put it back in later tight. So let's make some patterns for those big boys in the middle there. What I did here was broke the edge of this over. And then I'm just going to roughly trace that out. So I got enough. Going long, I'm gonna have to trim this at a little angle here. Something like that. But that'll leave me plenty out there to roll over and then trim off at the center of that. I'm even gonna add a little bit more of a template. We'll trim that out. Start with that. I'm going to put a brake on the back of that. Swinging around. Hey, like that. Trim that edge off back there. It's a little askew as this gets a little wider up front. And we'll put a reinforcement under there too. Let's see if we can square that end up, or unsquare that end, so it sits there a little better. Then we can get a more accurate line on there. Let's take that off there. Gotta do some notches. Just lost my marking tool. There it is. That brake goes over, it gets a little deep right here on a couple of pieces. Need to notch that out too, cut that off there. Somewhere right there. There's, make a mark here, and here, and here, and here. You got this bracket that sticks out. This needs to drop down 1/4 inch right there. So we need to take a notch out of that. Continue to do that. piece of filler in there. Little hole in the corner, but I just mark this under here. Follow this across like that without the camera on. Give her a trim. Start rolling that edge. Okay. I'm going to start rolling this edge down on this. Let's go set that in place. See how she looks. It's going to be rough, but got to start somewhere. Set you guys right there. Well, that's not terrible. It's not terrible. Matter of fact, that's something we can work with. We'll have to work with both of these together. We'll bring it just a little further back. Bring that depth back a little further in there. Let's go back and look again. Go back and look again. You guys just sit right there. Oh yeah. Yeah, kind of like that. Do a little tighter. It's pretty close. I think I put a couple of tacks on that. Just hold her in there. Ended up with a little extra material right through there. I'm going to slice that eventually, but that's only going to help me. Only going to help me. We put that front piece in there and then build the bottom of the door. Other piece, template going in here. Close enough to make a piece of sheet metal. All right. I think I can cut this piece out of this end. This will leave me a piece wide enough here to do the bottom of the door. Try to think ahead like that, but it doesn't always work out. So let's cut this piece out. Marked it out, cut it out. It's a little big. The door's only 2.5 inches wide at the edge, so that'll sweep up through there. We'll have enough. We got more, but just try to be mindful. Otherwise it'll bite you in the butt. Okay, we've had this out a couple of times. I had to put a little more roll a little higher in it on that end. For some reason I didn't go high enough in that end. Let's check our fit again. Probably doable there. Probably doable there. I'm going to try to butt weld these two together right here. That seems to be the next logical step. Looks really good. Looks pretty good. Get to that corner. Put this one back. Just use this angle iron as a jig. If it fits in here, it's got to fit, right? We pushed it tight, popped up. Needs a little trim. Got a nice straight edge right there. We'll just utilize it. Because most importantly, this back edge where it's broke over needs to stay straight. need to join those two halves together. And again, we made this out of 2 pieces because my brake's not that large. Plus this is a compound curve, it's going to make it a lot easier to put together. Let's put a few more tacks on here. Do some more test fitting. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to trim some odds and ends around here to make it work, but let's tack it together where we can handle it. Yeah, right here. Pretty straight. And finish welding the top. But I need to put a reinforcement under here. If somebody was to ever step on that, it needs to be sturdy, and that is not. Okay, to add rigidity to this, I'm going to take these and weld them in here. This will have to be trimmed off, but that way if anybody steps on that, it's going to be sturdy out here. You just need some rigidity in this flat area. So let's mark that. I think that was 3 inches. Not rocket science. Just something consistent there. And then I think I'll lay this this one over here. And I want to put a few tacks on this side to keep it from rolling out. But I want to put a lot of tacks down through the middle there to hold that in place. So put a ground clamp on there. I'll put the little pusher stick on it. Clamp on the end. Pin this down through here.